to shoot buttery smooth cinematic video on your phone using a gimbal? Even if you never touched a gimbal before, today I'll show you a technique that instantly levels up your footage, plus my top 5 moves that make any shot look incredibly powerful and cinematic. Gimbals are getting better and smarter every day, but there's still one technique that every creator should master first: the ninja walk. It's the foundation of smooth movement. Here's how it works. Keep your knees slightly bent, not exaggerated, just soft. This lowers your center of gravity and turns your legs into built-in shock absorbers. Use a heel-to-toe rolling step. Gently place your heel on the ground and roll slowly forward through your foot to the toe without bouncing. Take shorter, quieter steps, kinda like you're sneaking up on someone. Keep your posture straight but relaxed, and if you're using a gimbal with 2 hands, tuck your elbows slightly in. Your arms will help absorb any extra movement. That's the ninja walk, and once you get that down, that's when your gimbal footage goes from meh to movie-like. Now let's take that skill and combine it with some of the most cinematic gimbal moves professionals use in Hollywood. And along the way, I'll show you the gimbal I'm using for all these shots, which is the Hohem iSteady M7, one of the best mobile phone gimbals money can buy in 2025. And honestly, it's packed with tools that make everything way easier. The crane shot or jib shot is one of the cleanest ways to open a scene, a vertical movement that introduces either a subject or a scene. You just need to start with the gimbal low to the ground, and as the subject moves forward and enters the scene, you lift the gimbal straight up while keeping the camera level. For this move, I use the gimbal in pan follow mode, which stops the gimbal from tilting and keeps the movement clean and steady. To add a little more style, try starting behind a foreground object, a bush, a bench or a wall as you rise. It adds drama and depth with minimal effort. For the advanced version, combine 2 moves. Start low to the side of the subject's feet and then rise and swing diagonally across their body to reveal the background. This creates a sweeping crane effect that feels way more complex than it actually is. One major help for this move is the extension rod of the iSteady M7 that lets me rise without needing to bend down, and the motors are strong enough to keep it steady, even when fully extended. The pullback is all about revealing a space or emotion. For this move, you'll need to walk away from your subject, slowly revealing the environment or the moment to the viewer. Start close to the subject, walk backwards using the ninja walk, and keep the subject in the center of the frame. Set your gimbal to pan follow mode so there's no tilt drift. To make this move more dynamic, start with an empty frame, then as you pull back, have your subject roll into the scene. It's a great way to surprise your audience and build anticipation. For the most dynamic version, I like to start with the camera pointing up at a specific point like the sky, then I walk backwards and tilt down using the follow mode to reveal the subject and environment. This creates a cinematic unwrapping or reveal effect. Tracking shots lets you move with your subject. They are immersive and perfect for motion. The simplest form is a side track. Walk parallel to your subject, keeping them in the opposite third of the frame that they are facing. Use pan follow mode here to maintain stability. Another way you can enhance this move is to start low and slowly lift the gimbal as you move from the subject's feet up to their shoulders. It adds build-up and keeps your viewer engaged. And you can also add a slight orbit. Begin parallel to the subject at a low angle, then slowly rotate around the back, lifting up to shoulder level. This combines a tracking shot with a partial reveal, great for B-roll sequences. For these moves, I often switch to pan tilt follow mode, especially if I want to blend in a tilt. Orbit shots are cinematic gold. You move around the subject while keeping them centered, and the background wraps and spins behind them, creating the so-called parallax effect and giving the scene an emotionally charged feel. Keep the gimbal at eye level, walk in a semicircle around your subject, and use pan-follow mode to allow natural rotation without vertical drift. If you want to add a little more depth, lower the gimbal and tilt it up a little towards your subject. It gives them presence, almost like a hero shot. A pro tip is to use a longer focal length, something like a telephoto phone lens, then orbit at a greater distance with trees or people behind the subject. It exaggerates the parallax effect, making your orbit look way more dramatic. The iSteady M7's infinite pan rotation and AI subject tracking makes this easier than any other gimbal I've used before. You just focus on your ninja walk around the path and it handles the tracking. The push-in is your go-to for tension, emotion, and storytelling focus. You're bringing your viewer towards something important, your subject, their action, or a moment that matters. Start at a distance and walk towards your subject at a low pace. Use pan-follow mode for straight push and keep your subject right at the center. To add a little more spice, start low, push in along the ground, then tilt up as you reach your subject. This adds a rise and gives the impression of more movement and scale. And if you want to make it even more dynamic, switch to pan tilt follow mode and do a push in with tilt. Start with the camera angled down, then tilt up as you approach the subject, revealing more of their face and surroundings. This type of blend creates visual tension and resolution all in one. These 5 moves, each with their own variations, form the foundation of cinematic storytelling. So let me know in the comments down below which move you're most excited to try. Remember, start with the basics and layer in complexity as you get more confident. Don't forget, movement is a language. But here's the thing, technique only goes so far. The gear you use can either hold you back or help you create more freely. And for me, the Hohem iSteady M7 has made a massive difference. So I just want to give a quick shout out to Hohem for sending over the iSteady M7 for me to make this video for you guys. One of its coolest features is the detachable control screen, especially if you're someone that shoots solo. Just pop it off, set the gimbal down, and now you've got full remote control and live preview without needing a second person. It's honestly one of my favorite features. Then there's the briefcase handle, which if you ever tried to shoot low-angle tracking shots without one, you know how awkward and exhausting that gets. And let's not forget about the included RGB LED panel. You've got color temperature control, RGB effects, flash and pulsating modes, and most importantly, it's actually super bright. All of this, built into a gimbal that supports big phones, gives you access to AI tracking, infinite pan, extension rod, and CCT and RGB fill lights. So, if you're serious about creating cinematic content with your phone and want a gimbal that helps you move, track, light, and direct, the iSteady M7 is absolutely worth a look. I'll leave it in the description below. Whether if you're just getting started or pushing your skills further, combining the right techniques with the right tools can seriously level up your content. It has genuinely made my solo shoots simpler and more creative, and I think it can do the same for you. If this video helped you or gave you ideas to try out, don't forget to hit that like button and also consider subscribing to the channel if you aren't already. And without any further ado, I see you in the next one.